I'm Lee and this is my podcast about my handmade life. I'm on Instagram as Louleigh _ and on Ravelry is Louleigh, and I have an Etsy shop where I sell knitting needle cases and notions cases at Shop Louleigh, and you can find links to all of my online places at louleigh.com. Welcome, it's so nice to be sitting and having a chat with you. It's Sunday afternoon and it's gloriously sunny outside, and I have gotten through the whole intro without my dog coming to interrupt. So I'm not sure what's happened there. It's just over there on the couch, perhaps he's broken. Anyway, it is a really nice day and my neighbours they like to sit out in their garden and have chats on really sunny days like this, and so if you can hear people talking in the background, that's what it is. You'll probably just be able to hear sort of like muffled background noise if you can hear it, but yeah. And there might be a little bit of traffic noise as well because I have all the windows open. So of course the first thing to talk about is community news. I had 2 prize draws on Friday. Well, I did them on Saturday morning, which was super fun. So the first one was for the ultra light ankle sock kit that I'm giving away. And that included a beautiful hank of Eden Cottage Titus lace and some Knit Pro Zing DPNs and a copy of my new ankle socks pattern. And the winner for that was Ashby, and I have contacted her via email, so if that's you, please get in contact with me with your mailing address and I'll get that out to you. And the Stash Depreciating Shawl Along had a prize draw as well, and that was for a case of the winner's choice from my shop. So any of the notions or knitting needle cases, or one of the notions case kits if that's what you want as well. And the winner for that was Frau Leo, who is Andrea, and who had been participating in the chatter thread. So yeah, let me know what you would like from my shop and just PM me with your mailing address and I'll get that out to you as well. That was super fun. The Stash Depreciating Shawl Along thread is going to stay open while I'm still knitting Stash Depreciating shawls. So I hope you'll still join in and chatter over there and share your progress. I meant to put in a progress photo of Sizzle Pop as well, just by way of an update of where I've got to with mine. However, there's been a thing. I was really excited about Sizzle Pop and thinking that I was whisking along towards the end when I discovered that I had got the edgy bit wrong, and so I thought that I could drop down about 10 rows and just fix it, but as it turned out I had missed out an entire one of these leaf motifs and adding that in. So I've just decided to rip back, and I'm partway through picking up all of the stitches along there. I don't know if you can see my knitting needle, I think you can. Yeah, I'm partway through picking up all the stitches so I can rip back and do that. And I suppose I could have just kept going to the end, but it would have bothered me that it was wrong and that I just hadn't taken the time to put it right. So yeah, that was a little discouraging. Quite a lot discouraging, but I know I'll be pleased that I did actually bother to fix it, as I said. So that's where I am with that this week. Yeah, let's just put that back in the bag and not think about it. That did throw me into a bit of a quandary though as to what I was going to work on, because I had been quite happily just continuously picking up Sizzle Pop and carrying on with it. So yeah, a bit discombobulated about that one. So this is the sock segment. So thanks to that little mishap, I did actually crack on and cast on my ankle socks with ventilation. So this is the pair that I'm knitting for myself from my own pattern from Eden Cottage Titus lace. There's a 4-ply as well, which is equally as lovely. But this is the Titus lace. So I do have a little square of knitting to show you, and have cast on there. Thank you to everybody who purchased the pattern. I had a really nice response, and yeah, if I was going to ask as well, if anybody is interested in a knit along, then pop over to the episode thread and just let me know, and I'll set up a thread for that and we can have a chatter as we're knitting along with our socks. So in my hiatus from Sizzle Pop, I have also completed the Playdate cardigan. So really it just needed the buttons attached, and it needed me to sew down the linings for the pockets. You knit these little squares inside the cardigan, and then you just have to sew them down. And for some reason I found that kind of challenging. I had 3 goes at it. The first time went horribly wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. I sewed them down like parallelograms instead of nice and straight. The second time just wasn't quite so neat, so I did it a 3rd time and then decided to call it done. And I think I did improve with each attempt. They're still not perfect, but they're lovely, so it's okay. This is a pattern by Tin Can Knits, and I knitted it in some yarn from Riverside Studio, which is a Canadian crowd, in the Fen colourway, and it's really pretty. Some things to note though is that because I was just knitting these instead of knitting a pair of socks, I didn't bother to try and get gauge. So I made I think it was the 1-year-old size. Let me just check that out. I think it might have been the 6 to 12 month size, because that would have should have used up most of the yardage of my yarn. And I ended up using 87 grams of yarn for this, and having quite a blob left over. The hank was bigger than 100 grams anyway. I think it was about 113 grams. So yeah, I had quite a bit left over. And I also didn't get gauge. I got 25 stitches to the inch instead of 24, but I do like the fabric. I don't think I would have wanted it to be any looser than this. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the way that that has come out, and I have someone to send it to, which is really exciting. So I'm going to wrap that up and get it in the post this week. Yeah, I would love to cast on another one. I think it's a really fun thing to knit with maybe a sock kit that has the little mini skein for the heels, just so that you have that fun pop to go in the pockets. Or you can just do what I did and rummage through your stash and find something that fits in there. But yeah, so that is super cute, and if you are looking for an alternative to knitting socks, just something fun and easy, then I would highly recommend that. While I'm rummaging in the same bag, I have also started repairing the Hairy Man socks, which you probably can't see. I'm in Frankensock mode. I've cut a piece away and knitted in the green section. Yeah, so I have that to be cracking on with as well. Frankensocks. One of the things that I mentioned last week was that I had been thinking about my wardrobe and the things that I wanted to knit to go into my wardrobe, and just how it all came together. I really like the idea of having a capsule wardrobe and having everything interchangeable and just not having to think too hard when you get dressed in the morning. However, I'm attracted to knitting more statement pieces, and even when I go shopping, you know, I like things that kind of stand out because of the colour or the print or something fun like that. And so I end up with a lot of sort of disparate outfits, and the thought of actually having a whole bunch of things that are all a similar fit and look good together, well, it sounds nice in theory, just doesn't work for me, because, well, I'd have a bunch of my handmade things that I just never wore, and I think I'd just get a bit bored. So I decided to focus on putting together ensembles. And one of the things that I identified when I was looking at my summer tops is that I could really do with just a straightforward, quite basic off-white cardigan to go with my summer stuff. So I sent off and I ordered some really beautiful yarn from Whistlebear, and it is their Cheviot Blue in the natural and in the 4-ply. And I chose a pattern which I swatched for, and this was the first swatch that I did using the needle size, and I didn't really recommended needle size in the pattern. I do have the pattern somewhere here. I think it's Cara by Cecily Garwick MacDonald or something like that. It's a Quinson Company pattern. So I had swatched for it. That one using the recommended needle size, and I didn't really like the fabric. And then this one using a lot smaller needle size, and I really liked the way this fabric came out. But I was looking at this off-white colourway, and as much as I like the feeling of it, it feels lovely, and I like the stitch definition, and I think it looks really pretty, there was something about the colour that just wasn't appealing to me. It kind of has a grey sort of like a grey foggy undertone rather than a nice warm tone. And I'd had it on my desk and I was humming and hawing. I was like, do I really like that? So I sat it next to some of the clothes that I actually wanted it to go with, and realised that it just wasn't quite the right natural white colour. And some of you might be sitting there going, but Lee, isn't white just white? And I'm actually looking at another ball of yarn just over here, which I'll get down. So this is the Louleigh colour that I put into my Trayster jumper. And just when you sit them side by side, I don't know if you'll be able to, actually maybe you can see that. This one just seems a lot sort of more crisp and clear to me, and this one just has that grey undertone that I don't think it suits me that well. Yeah, so having said that, it's a lovely yarn and I really wanted to knit with it. So I took the bull by the horns and dyed it this beautiful coral colour, which I love. I think it's just so pretty. I'm really pleased with the way it has come out. However, it still doesn't meet my requirement for having a really pretty, neutral, natural coloured cardigan in my wardrobe that would go with probably about 4 other garments that I have. And so I have picked out a pattern that I really would like to knit with this, and I think it will be just awesome. But it's that same issue again, where I'm making something that I think will be really pretty, and I don't really have a lot of things that is going to that's going to go with this. So I think the reason I'm dithering is because I had planned to cast on this cardigan pretty much straight away, and have a cardigan ready in my wardrobe next summer. Whereas this doesn't really fulfill that sort of wardrobe staple requirement, but I don't want to have bought this yarn just to put it into stash straight away. So I've decided to let this marinate for a week or two, and just to think about what I want to do next and what I want to cast on next, because I've been having a bit of a discombobulated week, and I just feel like there are so many things lying around my house that are half finished, and I'm looking out the window here at some trellis that I need to screw onto the wall so my plants can grow up it. So, and over here I have a pattern that I am assembling ready to cut out a toile. So you can kind of see how things are going here. So as I say, I'm going to let this marinate for the week and just think about the projects that I actually finding life enhancing. Yeah, and think about whether I want to get some little jobs finished off, and think about whether I want to cast on this straight away, or if I want to find another yarn that will work well for the cardi that I had actually planned. So yeah, I do like this a lot. This is really pretty. The pattern that I had in mind for this is I think it's called the Lunar Jumper from the new Pom Pom magazine, and it's actually in 2 colours, but I really like the idea of just doing it in one colour and just having the texture show up with this yarn. So you can see why I'm torn. It's a really pretty a pretty jersey, and I'm sure that I would wear it a lot as well. So oh gosh, it's tempting just to cast that on. Anyway, at the risk of having something else in my house that is half done or started and not finished, I'm going to put this yarn back over here. Oops, dropping things on the floor. And this week I'm going to focus on Sizzle Pop and on my ultralight socks, and maybe doing some other jobs that need finishing around the house as well. As I say, just really focusing on the things that are going to enhance my environment and my life. So anyway, it has been so nice to sit down and have a chat with you. Let me know if you're interested in an ultralight ankle socks cowl over in our Ravelry group. Come and join us anyway, and I shall see you next time. Cheerio!